Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into this live broadcast for The Earl Hall Show. Make sure you do visit the website, www.theearlhallshow.com. Anything you want to know about me, you can find out at earlhall.co. Today, we have a very special guest, Asia Davis. We're going to be talking about how to get massive results in any area of your life. Asia, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, this is exciting. You know, it was so funny because I was watching some of your videos that are on your Facebook page. And really, I had to watch it because I wanted to make sure I was going to pronounce your name right. It's like spelled AJA. I would have automatically said Aja. That would have been the thing I would have said. So it's like, luckily enough, in every one of your Facebook videos, you say, "Hey, it's Asia." I'm like, boom.
I know. I do say that. Sometimes I'm like, why do I say it? Like, it says my name, but it is helpful because most people don't know how to pronounce my name. But have you ever heard of Steely Dan?
Yes, of course.
Well, my parents were big fans, and that's where my name comes from.
So okay. Well, look, we've got a big topic that we're going to be discussing on today, and it seems like a lot of the topics that I discuss on the Earl Hall Show are just major hard hitters. One of the things that impressed me, and the reason why I even reached out to you, I believe a few weeks ago to come onto the show, is I actually was watching one of your videos where you were talking about you thought you wanted to do one thing and you figured out the actual thing you should be doing. Mm-hmm. And you really went kind of deep on that and kind of really became transparent in that video. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, it's one of those things that I think a lot of people struggle with. And I didn't, you know, when you're like in a situation and by yourself, you think like you're the only one.
Right.
You don't want to share it because you're like, why am I this freak of nature and everybody else seems to have it together?
Yeah.
For me, I've been that person my whole life who has like had it together, right? Like I've been known to be the one who like knows exactly what she wants to do. Mm-hmm. Like, I know it, I'm going to do it. And so that's the image that I held for myself and that I think a lot of people held for me. And in my mind. And, you know, for the first time in my life, after I sold my fitness studio, which I had been my identity for 9 years, right? Like I knew myself, I created myself as Asia Davis, the owner, the fitness studio owner. And like that's who I presented myself to the world.
Do you think that a lot of times that's what a lot of people struggle with? They don't separate what they do from actually who it is that they are. Yeah. Totally.
And I think because like I was living on a level where my identity was just implicated with what I did in the world, right? And when you realize like actually that's not who you are at all, then of course you have more freedom. But at that time I didn't know, right? And I spent 2 years kind of being at the mercy of whatever thing kind of came my way that seemed like it would be a good fit. And usually what that comes with is you're at the mercy of other people's agendas, right? Yeah. And you don't necessarily realize that. I didn't realize that while I was in it. I just thought that this was my path and like this is what I needed to do. Every time I started something else, I was like, this is what I need to do. But if I'm being really honest, there's always something in my mind, always something about it that didn't quite fit. And it took a lot of bravery on my part to really look at that and see like
that 2 years that you were going through that, obviously there was a lot of introspection that was happening. Was that a painful thing, or was that kind of like a frustrating thing? What was that journey like to really try and figure that out?
So it was definitely painful at times. I mean, there were times I would just be like, I remember one particular time I was like in the shower and I just like broke down crying and I was like, why is nothing working? Right. Mm-hmm. And, you know, for someone like me and I consider myself to be very driven, to always like want to be moving forward, like frustrating doesn't even begin to describe it because I'm someone who has goals and I want to be able to accomplish those goals. And if you're not like feeling like you're moving forward, it's It's the most frustrating feeling in the world.
What was the thing that happened that one day you felt that frustration, and in the next there was a moment that you knew? How did that happen? Where were you? Walk me through that moment.
Well, honestly, I've been really deep in meditation practice. And I've been meditating, I mean, like kind of like on and off for a while, but I didn't get serious about it really until probably a year or so ago.
Okay.
And one day, honestly, I'd been, you go through it, right? It's kind of like anything, like exercise or anything. Like one day I came out of my meditation and I just felt like this deep love and compassion. And it was so clear for me. It was like something that I hadn't necessarily experienced on that level before. And it was interesting because it didn't happen like the moment I got up from my meditation, because it's something that I do every day, right? Like I exercise, I meditate, I shower, and then I go about my day. But I was walking to my office, and all of a sudden, I like this feeling of like just unconditional love, not only for myself but for everybody, washed over me. And in that moment, I knew that I had just been afraid, and I knew that I had to share. It was actually kind of like a long, like not that much sooner before I made that choice, because then I had to share it, right? I had to share it, and it was just like when you love, like when you like get this feeling of unconditional love for yourself, honestly. And it has to translate to everybody else, because we're not separate.
Exactly. We're all connected.
We're all connected.
The universe, everything.
We're all connected. Then for me, I realized that I can't, like, I don't have to be doing all the things that I thought I needed to be doing. And that the real thing that I'm most interested in, which is transformation and helping people get to like this place of just joy and happiness. And sorry,
that's all right. Don't worry about it.
I don't know what that
I had a fire alarm during a broadcast last week. It went on for like 20 minutes. I was like so frustrated.
No, I can't talk to you right now. No, like, I think it's my doorman. They never call. But what I realized was that when like I didn't need to be in this space of like fear anymore, right? And like all the reasons that I had in my head about why I couldn't do what I wanted to do, and like to be honest and be fair, it wasn't like super crystal clear, right? Like everybody, I think, always wants to have a crystal clear like plan and pathway for like how their life is going to play out, or how this next stage is going to play out. And I had to let that go, right? Because I was like, I don't know. I didn't know 100%. And that was part of my fear of what it was going to look like. So I was like, well, since I don't know, it must not be right, which turns out is not the case, right? And so what I did and what I had to do was just let go of all my reasons for not following what I knew was right here. And that voice, that is in your head that's talking to you, but then you're like, shut up, but like, no, that's not the one. That's not the right voice to tell you to shut up. It's the voice that's like telling you that you're afraid of, that tells you like, no, isn't the, like, that's the one that we want to kind of like put to the side. And it's always a quiet voice. It's always a quiet one that's like gentle, and it's quiet, and it's easy to ignore to a certain point until it gets to be loud. And then you're like, all right, maybe I should start paying attention. So,
Is this part of the process? I mean, when we talk about how to get massive results in any area of your life, what is maybe the thing or things that people normally come to you for help with, to get help with, to make that massive change? What are people looking for from you? Stop listening to others and start listening to the best part of you. I know, probably just like me, you have sought answers and guidance from mentors, gurus, and coaches. The problem for you has probably been that you have found some success with that approach, but nothing earth-shattering. Here's the thing. If you want a better business, a better relationship, a better life, then how can anyone else actually give that to you? Why do you think that the answers to what you want are inside of someone else? They aren't. You and only you are the key to living your best life. Get the book, Transcend: How to Truly Connect with God and Create the Life You Want by Dr. Earl B. Hall. Available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle.
So I think they're looking for um, like a pathway, right?
Okay.
And like and a methodology and some concrete results. And what's interesting is a lot of times, especially in my previous life as a fitness studio owner, it's
Mhm.
very easy to be like to quantify. Okay, like you're successful when you lose 20 pounds, right?
Okay.
Or your body looks a certain way. And the interesting thing about that I've learned, and honestly what I struggled with for kind of the tail end of when I was a fitness studio owner, was that everything in our reality and our world tells us that in order to get results, we need to make a change outside of ourselves, right? So it means we need to do something
Mm.
different, we need to do something better, we need to do more of something. And that will work, but only to a certain extent. And the issue is, and like you see this, I saw this every single day, right? Like
Mhm.
people will get results, and like weight loss is the perfect example, but it applies to any area of your life, right? It can apply to your finances, it can apply to your relationship, it can apply to your connection and relationship with others. Is that you can do the things on the outside, right? Like you can do the things that everybody says you need to do: exercise
Right.
more,
Right.
eat more vegetables, eat more protein. Maybe it's keto, right? Do this ab exercise. But
Mhm.
all of those things are like the results are that if you get results
Yeah.
are temporary, right? And they're not
Yeah.
lasting. And
Yeah.
the reason is because what happens is we tend to think that all we need to do is change, right? We need to change what we're doing. We need to change
Mhm.
how we're doing things, or we need to do something better or faster or more of it. But when you do those things on top of a version of yourself that is unhappy, that is
Mhm.
unfulfilled, that is not healed,
Yeah.
then you get to then like you're not actually changing anything. So no, that's why nothing sticks, right? That's why people
Yes.
aren't getting the results that they can truly get in their life.
Mhm.
And what is so um, frustrating, I think, is that we're bombarded, right? We're bombarded with messages all the time telling us
Yes.
that who we are and how we're doing things isn't enough. And this is how consumerism essentially thrives, right? It thrives on our like notions that who we are isn't good enough. And so
Yeah,
as
that's
long
why the
as
jewelry stores get us guys to buy these expensive rings so that our fiancés will think that we're, great because we spent all of this money, but the relationship could be total crap. But all of a sudden, you know,
right, right? And it's like you're just like putting up some putty on a broken down building, hoping
yeah,
that it's going to stay together.
yeah,
Right? And so the thing is if you want massive results and you want something that's going to actually last, then you got to look at the crap that's going on inside, right? You got
yeah.
to look at who it is that you're actually being, as opposed to all the things that you're doing.
I talk a lot about this and I refer to it as personal engineering.
Mm,
And it's like I've said so many times, we have all of these great pieces of technology
Yeah.
from cell phones, computers, the technology we're using right now to broadcast to the world. It's amazing, but it was created by this piece of technology.
Mhm.
And it's like, but we don't understand this piece of technology
Right.
to really engineer the lives that we actually want to create. And there's a lot of stuff in us that we take for granted that we don't even know is there. We don't even know that we need to address it or even can address it or don't even know it needs to be addressed. All of that, so I hear you, as you say all of these things, it just reminds me of what I talk about so much with personal engineering. It's you can't engineer your life without engineering yourself.
Yeah.
And the results that you get, like you were talking about, from the exercise, from the bad finances, from the whatever, or bad relationships, those things continue to happen over and over again because you haven't engineered yourself appropriately.
Right.
Yeah. You don't even know yourself,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly. And beside, like, also knowing yourself and also how yourself interacts with other people, right?
Mhm.
Because your life is created in the context of the people around you. So
Yes.
that's why, like, it's so interesting when people are saying, like, oh yeah, your results are reflective of the 5 closest people.
Mhm.
Yes and no, right? So
Mhm.
are
Mhm.
you, like, where's your stand? Like, are you at cause in who you're surrounding yourself with, or are you at the effect of it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
who do you want to be? Who do you want to be?
Exactly. This whole topic is so interesting to me because when we talk about this whole thing, around getting massive results in different areas of your life, it seems that here's my take. There is a set point that I believe everyone has because of conditioning that they've been throughout their life. So there's this set point, and I say however much money you make today, whoever you're in relationship with, where you live, the car you drive, you've created that. Whether you did it on accident, you actually did it.
Yeah.
And so in order to change those things, you've got to change your life. You've got to start paying attention to you because all of these things you've manifested up to this point, which you don't want because you've never really taken charge of these things. So if you want to get massive results, you've got to get real and look in the mirror and say, you know what? I probably effed this up for the past couple decades. So let me take some charge now and start reversing this. But we have this set point that I was talking about that keeps trying to get us back to that set point, which is only about our brains trying to keep us safe.
Yeah.
And when I say safe, it's not about because it's good or bad. It's just familiar.
Right.
You're familiar living the way that you live right now. So your brain wants to keep you there because it's safe, it's familiar, you know it. And when you try and step out of that to go higher, you're battling your own programming.
Absolutely. And it's incredible what people will manifest when that happens. I mean, I'm just thinking back to a lot of times I would have clients who, like, obviously needed what I had, right? Like, it was almost like a life or death situation. They would sign up and then something crazy would happen in their life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe they would manifest an accident, right? Or maybe they would manifest something like crazy at work, literally the day before they were supposed to start.
Yeah.
And that's all that is. And what we don't realize is our power, right? We don't realize that we are actually at cause for everything in our life. And when we learn to take responsibility for that, then that's how you can actually begin to affect and get the results that you want in your life. But too often we think that we are at effect of everything else, that everything is happening to us, and so therefore we have no control. That's not the case at all. It's actually the opposite. And when you develop an awareness around that, and then learn to like essentially like not even like manipulate that, right? And you take full absolute responsibility and you are in full and absolute integrity with that, you're powerful. That's when you can step into your power. And it's not always easy, right? It can be terrifying to realize for a lot of people that you are at cause of your life, of everything in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that means like, yeah, like this relationship that's not working out, it's on you.
Yeah.
You know, like you're.
Oops, I think we lost Asia there for a minute. She'll probably be back. So I'll put her. Oh, there she is. Okay, let me put you back up. All right. Okay, you're back.
Boy, of course. Anyways, what I was saying was, you know, when you realize like your relationship or like your situation at your job or
Mm-hmm.
your financial situation is what it is because of you, then and you take responsibility for that, that's where your power really lies. And
Yeah.
it can be scary and crazy and difficult, but like that's what life is about.
Yeah.
Right? And that's when you get to create who it is that you want to be. That's what you get to create the next iteration of you. And that's how we like, honestly, it's how we change the world.
Yeah. So Asia, when's your book coming out?
Wow, I never thought about writing a book, but maybe I should. I mean,
Absolutely.
whatever. Now I'm like, as you know, you saw on my Facebook post, like I am on it. Like I do not care. I give zero and I don't care. Like this is me. This is me.
Absolutely. Well, Asia, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today here on the Earl Hall Show. I know the people are just loving this. This is going to be obviously podcasted everywhere as well too. But tell the folks how they can stay in touch with you and get more information.
Awesome. So yes, my website is alchemyignited.com. It's currently under construction, but you can also find me on Facebook. All right. So you go to facebook.com/Asia, AJA.
I got the name right on screen, so they see it.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's the easiest way. And just feel free to message me. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know what you think.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks so much for tuning in today to the Earl Hall Show with my special guest, Asia Davis. I'm sure you guys have enjoyed this. Make sure that you like and comment wherever you see this, or if you're watching or listening to the podcast, please be sure to leave us a comment and also reach out to Asia Davis as well. But once again, thank you so much for being with me, Asia. This has been powerful.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next episode of The Earl Hall Show. Take care. Visit the website, www.theearlhallshow.com, and I'll see you tomorrow.